Having a united delegation or a delegation that works, 90% of the time on the same page on the same issues is key to getting things done for your area. The second point that we wanted to bring out was the fact that there was sort of a lack of integrity in House District 76. She had eroded the position's integrity, and we wanted to restore that. And that was a message that resonated with the voters as well.
So one of the most controversial things that came up during the campaign was this public forum where Representative Chavez called you a gay lesbian woman.
Yes, I pull in 3 paychecks that way, apparently.
And so that seemed to be kind of a big turning point in the race. Do you think if she hadn't sort of attacked you in that way, that you would have won in the end?
I think we were still going to win in the end because we won in the primary. We were going strong into the runoff. Now, would the margin would have been smaller? Probably, but I think ultimately our message of good government and having wonderful volunteers that were, we were always meeting with constituents, with voters, with, neighborhood associations, that really ultimately made the difference in the long run, is that we were making these inroads and relationships with community leaders that talk to other community leaders, that talk to, friends and family. And that, I think, is ultimately what swung it. Now, the comments that she made, of course, were unfortunate, and it was a turning point, I think, for her campaign. But ultimately, I feel that we would have been victorious based on the message that we were sending, based on the grassroots effort that we had going into the runoff.
What kind of feedback did you personally hear from folks in El Paso after that comment?
Everyone felt that it was just out of place. It was not necessary. It was Norma acting out of desperation. It was very unanimous, the support that I received after those calls were made, in the sense that people said this just underscores why this person does not need to be in office anymore. This has no place in our community. This has no place in our government, and it's irrelevant. It's a non-issue. We have bigger things to focus on. Really, this was an issue that she brought up because there wasn't a whole lot there. So this is something that she grasped onto, knowing that it is a very strong Democratic district and hoping to hurt me in that way. But I'm a very proud Democrat. I was endorsed by the El Paso Tejano Democrats, and I'm beholden to no one. Whenever anyone gives me a campaign donation, they understand that I will do what's in the best interest for the constituents of District 76, not for what special interests they represent. Now, if it so happens that, dovetails with what the citizens of District 76 in El Paso want and will be in their best interest, then that's great. But I'm beholden to no one. Yes, I've met with the tribal council. We've discussed this issue, and it is important because it is about bringing jobs back to that area and to District 76. So it is going to be an issue that I plan on working with the TIGUAS with. Contrary to what was said, I am not anti-gaming. I'm very much in favor of having tribal councils and in sovereign nations have gaming rights. And so I want to hammer out some differences between some of these tribes so we can get a gaming bill that is going to be effective for all parties. And I think, this ad hoc committee that's being formed is a very strong sign that Texas is now in a position and is willing to open its doors to gaming. Well, everyone from the delegation has contacted me to congratulate me, and we all agree it's about moving El Paso forward. It's about, moving our agenda forward and the city forward. So I am absolutely confident that we are going to be able to work together. I think what makes this delegation unique and wonderful is the fact that we all can sit down with each other and say, look, I may not agree with you on this issue. Here's why. What are your thoughts on this? Is there something that can you meet me halfway on this issue? So I think that we're going to be able to engage in dialogue amongst ourselves to figure out what's the best way to move the county agenda forward, the city agenda forward, and our own district needs to get those needs met. And that's what's really going to be wonderful about this. And that's the response that I have received from the majority of the people that I've met with, is that it is going to be so refreshing to have a delegation that is going to work together and not be so so dramatic. Absolutely. We often chat over a nice cup of tea and discuss American Idol as well. No, and I don't mean to be flip about this, but no, Representative Chavez and I have not met subsequent to the election. And I'm not opposed to meeting, but I think at this point it's important for me to sort of establish my own plan and meet the people that I need to meet on my own terms. And should that bridge come later on, then I'm more than willing to cross it when it gets there.